What's up, everybody? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel, and then follow me on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter so you guys don't miss any of our content over the course of this season. All right, let's talk some basketball. One of the themes that I talked about a couple weeks ago is this idea of Jayson Tatum and hunting pull-up threes and whether or not it's a smart shot for him. Well, over the last 4 games, Jayson Tatum is 12 for 21 on pull-up threes, which is awesome. Think about that. That's 36 points on 21 shots. That's right around 1.5 points per shot. So super efficient play for him in the last week and a half or so. He was hunting Obi Toppin and Jalen Smith in mismatches at the end of that Pacers game, or in the fourth quarter of that Pacers game. And then literally once he'd get him on the switch, give him space, and he was hunting that pull-up three. And then after that, Indiana started throwing multiple defenders at Tatum when he would get those guys in a switch, and he was making the pass out of it. O'Shea Brissett ended up getting making a couple of plays on offense out of that. He smoked a layup that led to a Luke Cornett tip in, and then he had another driving layup driving out of the left corner where he got all the way to the rim. But like that is where I like the Tatum pull-up three. It's not about the pull-up three in a vacuum. Steph Curry, his go-to move is a pull-up three, right? The difference is he's so damn good at it that it's consistently so efficient that he's always drawing multiple defenders into the situation, which is allowing him to make it a consistently high-value shot for his team, either him taking it or him drawing the multiple defenders and starting those 4-on-3s, right? With Tatum, it's 3 years of recent evidence of him not being able to make that shot more than about 1 out of every 3 times. Well, more than more like 3 out of 10 times. And so as a result of that, it's become a thing that hasn't been super efficient. But if he can get to the point where now here's the thing, he's 6'9" and completely ripped. I'd rather have him look for a go-to move closer to the rim and have him use the pull-up three as more of a counter. But that doesn't mean it's the only way to do it. That can be a bread and butter for him. It just has to be like this. Not necessarily 12 for 21, but he's got to be in the 40s on it. If he can get to the point where he's shooting 40% on pull-up threes and it's worth 1.2 points per shot, that's where it starts to become something that can be his bread and butter. It's just a matter of efficiency because that three-point shot is a high-value shot. The only thing I'd say, though, is, again, one of the reasons why Steph has to do that is he does not have the physical tools to play bully ball and get closer to the rim. Jayson Tatum does. And so I'd like to see him balance that out a little bit better. But I do think these last 4 games are a great indicator of just how dynamic Tatum is when he's making that pull-up jump shot. The Boston offense has been like scorching hot. Since then, the Pacers are completely helpless guarding him at the end of the game. He had another a drive on a closeout for a layup. He had another play where he got Ben Mathurin in an ISO and Indiana fell asleep and they were glued up off the ball, and Tatum just took him right to the basket, bully ball style, and got an and one. So he's cooking now. It's just a question of whether or not he can maintain this trend in the long run. But it does look good when the shots are falling. Boston completely dominated the fourth quarter on Jayson Tatum's shot making. He finished with 38 points. But it was their defense that impressed me the most. Tyrese Halliburton has been busting everyone's ass for a month, and Boston straight up locked him up. He was taking bad shots. He was turning the ball over. The dead giveaway to me was he was kind of like forcing things, which is not something you see Tyrese Halliburton do. When he checked back in the fourth quarter, the very first shot he took was an early clock step back 3 over Jayson Tatum. And it's like, whoa, that's like just not a good decision, which is so unlike Tyrese Halliburton, right? And then like 2 possessions later, he tried to work in pick and roll and was kind of smothered by Derek White and tried to force a floater and ended up getting blocked. When you see a really smart offensive player start to get a little discombobulated, taking bad shots, he had 4 turnovers in this game too. That's very unlike Tyrese Halliburton. That's a testament to the quality perimeter defense of Boston and what they're capable of when they're really locked in. The Celtics have won 13 of their last 15. That is the best record in the league over that span. A 126 offensive rating in that span. Best in the league. That's outrageous. 112 defensive rating. I think that'll be better too when Porzingis actually can get on the floor and stay healthy for an extended stretch. But like, here's the thing, man. Like, if Tatum can get that pull-up jump shot going the way he had it going this last week, now we got to reevaluate Boston, because a lot of our kind of approach with Boston has been geared around him being a guy who deliberately takes and hunts inefficient shots. So that's the question. Was this small sample size of Tatum being hot? or a sign of his hard work paying off? Because we had a mailbag question last week. People were like, hey, why isn't Tatum, adjusting from these pull-up threes? And one of the things I said was, I think he's trusting his work. I think he believes that he's worked hard enough on that shot for it to be his bread and butter, and that's why he hunts it. If that's the case, then this 12 of 21 could potentially be the first step in a new era of Tatum being a more efficient pull-up jump shooter.